Are you coming across the term intermittent fasting for the very first time? Well, let's define what it is. Intermittent fasting is an eating pattern that cycles between periods of eating and fasting. Intermittent fasting isn't a diet in the ordinary sense, but more correctly recounted as an eating pattern. Many people do fasting for various reasons, one of it being for spiritual purposes and the other one for fat loss. And also in the recent decades, intermittent fasting has been medically endorsed by doctors. And today I will be answering frequently asked questions when it comes to intermittent fasting. First question is intermittent fasting safe for everyone? And the answer is no. Intermittent fasting is not recommended for pregnant and lactating women. It is not recommended for children and teenagers. It is also not recommended for people who have type 1 diabetes, not recommended for people who have eating disorders such as anorexia and bulimia nervosa. And this is because of the hunger pangs experienced during fasting. It is also not recommended for people who are under medication, and this is because these people may feel better eating the standard 3 meals in a day. The second question people ask is, should I be exercising when fasting? And the answer is of course yes. And the key to weight loss isn't only diet, and in as much as exercise plays a very small role when it comes to fat loss, it is super important for our brain, it is also important for our heart, and also even for keeping the lost weight off. So yes, it is important to be exercising when you are fasting, and I'm a practical example. I do exercise even when I am fasting, and guys, I've never fainted. And we also need to know that when you are fasting, your glycogen stores are empty. So what happens is that your body uses excess stored fat for energy, which aids in weight loss. So that question that people have is, am I allowed to drink any liquids? And this highly depends on the beverage in question. And basically, you're allowed to drink sugarless coffee, plain water, sugarless green tea, and sugarless black coffee, and a bit of ACV in your water. But a good rule of thumb is to avoid drinking any drinks that have calories, such as do not drink your soda, do not drink your black coffee and add in some lemon, do not put in lemon in your water, do not add in chia seeds, do not add in moringa in your water, do not drink anything like mint when you're trying to, or when you're fasting, because all these things usually break your fast. Also, do not drink alcohol. If you're enjoying this video this far, kindly hit that like button so that you can be able to spread to more people. Thank you. And number 4 question that people have is, am I allowed to eat everything during my feeding window, since I will be skipping meals so I can make up for it? And the answer is no. Remember that intermittent fasting does not put a restriction on what you should eat, but it tells you when to eat. But this is not to mean that when you break your fast, you break it with the wrong food such as junk food. But you should stick to eating whole foods, and a good combination could be, you can take your eggs, you can take your spinach, or any other whole food that you have, but do not break your fast with the wrong foods, because all this ends up undoing all the benefits of fasting. Number 5 question that people have is, which is the most effective intermittent fasting plans for effective weight loss? And I would say all. We have different types of intermittent fasting. We have the 5-2, which basically means that you eat normally for 5 days, and for 2 days, for women, you restrict eating 500 calories, and for men, you restrict eating 600 calories. We also have the alternate day fast, whereby you eat normally today, you fast the following day, and so on. And we also have now the time restricted fasting, which is what majority of people know, which is the 16-8, which basically means you're fasting for 16 hours and then you're eating within an 8-hour window. We have the 24, the 18-6, and the 24 hours fast. What I would say is, do not do a plan because your friend did it and it worked for them, but you should look for an intermittent fasting plan that fits into your schedule, your time, and your goals. The 6th question that I get is, coach, shouldn't we be eating every 3 to 4 hours? How then is it healthy to give in such long breaks in between meals? And the truth is this: eating small frequent meals throughout the day may not move the needle when it comes to fat loss. In fact, if you can be able to catch a glimpse into how the ancient human may have eaten, they used to eat 1 or 2 meals in a day. Studies have also shown that eating 2 large meals per day helps in improving insulin sensitivity and also aids in weight loss, rather than eating small frequent meals throughout the day. Last but not least, isn't breakfast the most important meal of the day? And the truth is no. Breakfast isn't the most important meal of the day. This is just a myth that has been sold to us to make us eat breakfast in the morning to kickstart our metabolism. The truth is, breakfast refers to any food that you eat to break your overnight fast, or any food that we first eat to nourish our bodies with glucose and nutrients. And we have come to equate breakfast with a meal that is eaten early in the morning, which should not be the case. So no, breakfast isn't the most important meal of the day. The bottom line is this: no matter what kind of dietary restriction you self-impose, the meals eaten needs to be nutrient dense. Whether you choose to do intermittent fasting or eat 5 to 6 meals in a day, do not eat less, so that you don't fall under the risk of being nutrient deficient. Remember that intermittent fasting isn't a diet, but it is a lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching this far. If you have any more intermittent fasting questions, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. Also, if you'd like to be personally coached on how to do intermittent fasting the right way and also get effective meal plans, our contacts are on the screen, and also they'll be on the description box below. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you still haven't, and I'll definitely see you on the next one.